Welcome, everyone. I'm excited to kick off today's session with our first slide, Notice Writing. In this presentation, we'll explore the essentials of effective notice writing, including key tips and best practices. We'll cover how to craft clear and professional notices that get the message across efficiently. So, without further delay, let's dive into the world of notice writing and see how we can sharpen our skills. Let's take a closer look at what this presentation covers. On this slide, we see the contents of our entire discussion. Starting with the introduction, then moving through key points like understanding what a notice is, its important contents, and the proper format. We'll also explore how to write notices in passive voice, which is a useful skill. Additionally, there are sample notices and questions to help reinforce learning, along with marking schemes so you know what to look for. We'll also examine what's right and wrong in notice writing, which is crucial for clarity and correctness. Finally, you'll see class and home assignments to practice what you've learned. By understanding these sections, you'll see how each part connects to the overall theme of effective communication through notices. This structure ensures we cover everything comprehensively, step by step. Let's take a moment to think about how we communicate. When we talk about communication, one of the first distinctions we can make is whether we're engaging in one-to-one conversations or one-to-many, like giving a speech or a presentation. These are common scenarios, but there's also the idea of one-to-many for a period of time, which is a bit more nuanced. It could be like broadcasting a message to a large audience over a certain duration, such as a webinar or a live event. Understanding these different modes is crucial because each requires different strategies and tools to be effective. This ties back to our overall theme of how communication adapts depending on the context and audience. Recognizing these distinctions helps us tailor our messages for maximum impact, whether we're speaking directly to someone or addressing a large group over an extended period. Let's talk about what a notice actually is. Essentially, it's a formal way of communicating important information. Now, you might be wondering, what is its main purpose? Well, a notice is designed to announce or display information to a specific group of people. It's a way to ensure that the right audience receives the message clearly and officially. You'll often see notices pinned up on particular display boards in places like schools, public areas, or even in newspapers. These are strategic locations to make sure the information reaches the intended viewers effectively. Understanding notices is important because they play a key role in formal communication, especially when conveying rules, updates, or important announcements to the community. They help keep everyone informed and aware of what's happening around them. Now, moving on to slide 5, let's look at the important contents of a notice. First, you'll see the name of the organization issuing the notice. This is crucial because it tells us who is responsible for the message. Next, we have the date of the notice, which helps us understand the timing and relevance of the information. Then, there's the prominent word notice itself, clearly indicating the purpose of the document. Following that, we have a catchy heading to introduce the subject. This grabs attention and gives a quick idea of what the notice is about. After the heading, the body of the notice contains the detailed information or instructions that the organization wants to convey. Finally, there's the writer's sign, along with their name in capital letters and their designation. This part adds credibility and accountability to the notice. Understanding these key elements is essential because they ensure the notice is clear, informative, and authoritative, aligning with the overall theme of effective communication. Let's take a closer look at the notice format on this slide. First, you'll notice that it starts with the name of the organization or office issuing the notice. This is important because it clearly identifies who is responsible for the communication. Next, we have the date, written in the format mm/dd/EI, which indicates exactly when the notice was issued. Then there's the word notice prominently displayed, serving as a clear indication of the document's purpose. Following that, you'll see the heading, which provides a brief summary or the main subject of the notice. The body of the notice contains the detailed information or message that needs to be conveyed. It's essential that this part is clear and concise to avoid any confusion. Finally, at the bottom, you'll find the signature section, where the name and designation of the person issuing the notice are included. This adds authenticity and authority to the document. Understanding this format is crucial because it ensures that notices are organized, professional, and easily understood. It ties back to our overall theme of effective communication, making sure messages are clear, official, and properly structured. All right, let's go over the key points to remember using the 5 Ws. First, what is going to happen? That's right, the event itself. It's important to clearly understand what the event is about so you can grasp its purpose and significance. Next, who can benefit from this information? Identifying the right audience helps us tailor our approach and ensure everyone gets value from it. Then, where will it take place? Knowing the venue helps with planning and logistics, so everyone knows exactly where to go. After that, who should you contact if you have questions or need more details? Having a clear contact person makes the process smoother. Lastly, when will it happen? The date and time are crucial so you can mark your calendars and be prepared to attend. Remember, these 5 points, what, who, where, whom, and when, are fundamental in understanding and organizing any event. Connecting these points ensures we're all aligned and ready to make the most of what's ahead. Let's explore the power of the passive voice. It's often used to focus on the action or the recipient rather than the doer. When crafted carefully, it avoids ambiguity asterisk and asterisk asterisk clarifies, meaning asterisk asterisk. Remember, precision is key asterisk in effective communication. Let's look at the marking scheme for this particular task. First, the organization name, which in this case is notice, along with the heading and the date, should be given 1 mark. This means it's important to clearly include all these details prominently. Next, placing the notice within a box earns half a mark. This helps to make the notice stand out visually and ensures it's easily identifiable. When the notice contains 4 or more words, it should be allotted 1 mark. That indicates the importance of including sufficient content in the notice to convey the message effectively. The name and designation of the person issuing the notice are worth half a mark. This adds authority and credibility to the notice, so including these details is essential. Finally, the content and language used in the notice carry the most weight, 2 marks. This means the language should be clear, concise, and professional, adhering to the required word limit. If it exceeds the limit by 2/3, it will get only half a mark, emphasizing the need for precision and brevity. Overall, this marking scheme highlights the importance of clear structure, proper formatting, and effective language in notice writing, which ties into the broader theme of effective communication. Certainly, here is the word-by-word narrative script for slide 10. Now, let's look at a sample question that ties into our overall theme of effective communication and organization. Imagine it's National Science and Technology Day, and the Delhi Public School in New Delhi is planning a science fair. Vikram, who is the secretary of the Science Society, needs to call a meeting. His goal is to discuss arrangements for the upcoming fair. The task is to write a notice, keeping it concise, not more than 50 words. This kind of question tests our ability to communicate important information clearly and efficiently, which is essential in organizing successful events. It highlights how we can convey key details quickly, ensuring everyone stays informed and involved. Such skills are crucial as we work to make our science initiatives engaging and well-coordinated. Today, let's look at an example of a sample notice from Delhi Public School in New Delhi. This notice is dated 18th February 2014 and pertains to a meeting of the Science Society. Notice like this is a formal way for an organization to communicate important information to its members. The notice announces that, in honor of National Science and Technology Day, the school plans to organize a science fair. This highlights how notices are used to inform about upcoming events and initiatives. It also specifies that all office bearers, those in leadership positions, are requested to attend a meeting. The meeting is scheduled for 20th February 2014 at 10 a.m. in the school library. This detail emphasizes the importance of punctuality and clarity in communication. The purpose of the meeting is to discuss arrangements for the fair, which shows how notices help in planning and coordination. Finally, you'll notice the signature at the bottom, Vikram Singh, the Secretary of the Science Society, adding a personal and official touch to the notice. Overall, this sample notice illustrates the key elements of formal communication: clear date, purpose, location, and responsible person, all essential for effective organizational planning. Let's look at an example of a sample question that encourages us to think about community service and communication. In this scenario, Ram Lakhani, the head boy of Bhavan's Vidyalaya in Chandigarh, along with some fellow students, is moved by the hardships faced by children in government homes. They want to do something meaningful to help. The task is to write a notice. Remember, a notice is a short, official announcement that appeals for donations. It should be concise, within 50 words, but also impactful enough to motivate people to contribute generously. This exercise underscores the importance of clear, persuasive writing, key skills in effective communication. It also ties into the broader theme of social responsibility, showing how students can initiate positive change through simple acts like raising funds. So, when crafting such a notice, think about being direct, respectful, and heartfelt, ensuring the message resonates and encourages support. Today, I want to draw your attention to another sample notice from Bhavan Vidyalaya in Chandigarh. As you can see, it's dated 18th February 2014. The notice begins with a polite but urgent call. "Attention, please! Lend a helping hand." This immediately grabs the reader's attention and emphasizes the importance of the message. The main request here is for help and cooperation to make a positive difference in the lives of less fortunate children living in state-run homes. The school is encouraging everyone to donate generously. They specify that contributions should be deposited with the school librarian by the 25th of February, which is just a week away. The notice also provides details on how to contribute. During short breaks or lunch breaks, donations can be made in the school library. The funds collected will be used specifically for medicines and clothes for the children living in these homes. At the bottom, we see the signature of Ram Lakhani, the head boy, which adds a personal and official touch to the appeal. This notice highlights the importance of community service, compassion, and how even small contributions can make a big difference in someone's life. It's a great example of how schools can encourage students and staff to come together for a noble cause. So let's take a moment to consider what's right and what's wrong in this context. It's important to recognize that, when evaluating situations or decisions, there's often a fine line between ethical and unethical actions. Understanding this distinction helps us make better choices aligned with our values and the overall goals of our organization. What's right usually aligns with principles like honesty, integrity, and fairness. These are the behaviors that build trust and foster a positive environment. On the other hand, what's wrong might involve cutting corners, dishonesty, or actions that harm others or compromise our standards. By being aware of these differences, we can better navigate complex scenarios and reinforce a culture of accountability. Remember, the core theme here is about cultivating integrity and making decisions that uphold our reputation and long-term success. It's not always easy, but staying committed to what's right is what truly sets us apart. Good morning, everyone. Today, I want to talk about our class assignment, which is both meaningful and impactful. As the president of the Student Council, I am tasked with writing a notice. The goal is to encourage all of you to donate old clothes, books, and bags. These items will go to the Anubhav Shiksha Kendra, a school for underprivileged children that operates right on our school premises. It's important to keep the notice concise, no more than 50 words, so we can communicate clearly and effectively. The key points to include are the items needed, clothes, books, and bags, and the purpose, which is to support the underprivileged students at the Shiksha Kendra. This activity ties into our overall theme of kindness and community service. By donating, we're not just decluttering, we're helping children who need our support to learn and grow. Remember, small acts like these can make a big difference. Let's work together to make this drive a success. Now let's look at the home assignment details. First, students are asked to imagine themselves as Kenny Pinto, the head boy, and write a notice about the upcoming workshops on candle making and clay modeling. This event is organized by the Hindustan Times PACE program and will take place on Children's Day in school. Remember, the notice should include all necessary details but be brief, no more than 50 words. Next, as the president of the excursions committee, you need to inform students about an exciting adventure trip to Sitlakit. The event is organized by Altitudes Expeditions during summer vacations and is open to students of classes VIII and IX. The notice should be concise, inviting students to join, and also limited to 50 words. These assignments are great opportunities for students to practice clear and effective communication. Crafting notices that are informative yet brief helps convey important details quickly, an essential skill in both school and future professional settings. Connecting these activities to the overall theme of active participation and organization, they encourage students to engage in meaningful extracurricular experiences.